Now that we've talked about the Texas governor, let's move to the office that surprises almost everyone. Because in Texas, the lieutenant governor isn't just a backup. In many ways, this is one of the most powerful offices in the state. And most voters don't realize it until something they care about gets blocked or fast-tracked. When people hear lieutenant governor, they usually assume one thing, that this person just steps in if the governor can't serve. So much like a vice president versus the president of the United States. Maybe they attend ceremonies, break tie votes, or stay quietly in the background. And that assumption makes sense because that is how this role works in a lot of states. But of course, Texas is not most states. And that is not how it works here. In Texas, the lieutenant governor holds enormous legislative power. And here's why. The lieutenant governor presides over the Texas Senate, and that means they decide which bills get assigned to committees, control which bills get brought up for debate, and influence which bills move forward and which quietly die. So if a bill never gets placed on the calendar, it doesn't matter how popular it is, it's done. The lieutenant governor also appoints committee chairs and members, sets the tone and priorities of the Senate, and plays a major role in budget negotiations. This is agenda-setting power, and it shapes what laws even have a chance to exist. So here's where things really click. The governor can sign or veto bills after they pass, but the lieutenant governor can decide whether those bills overreach that stage at all. If the Senate doesn't act, the governor never gets a decision to make. And that is why you'll sometimes see legislation stall without much explanation, even where there's a public support. It's not always chaos or incompetence. It's power being used quietly. So a lot of people blame or praise the governor when laws pass or fail. But in Texas, the lieutenant governor is often the gatekeeper. When voters don't understand this role, accountability gets very blurry. And when accountability gets blurry, people disengage, especially after elections. But this office matters long after campaigns end, because every legislative session, the lieutenant governor decides priorities, shapes what debates happen, and determines what issues never see daylight. And if you want to understand why certain policies move fast while others never move at all, this office is a big part of that answer. And this is exactly why I'm breaking down Texas offices one by one, not just during election season, but even after. If you watched my previous video about the governor and you had the thought of, okay, well that explains a lot. Well, this is the next piece of the puzzle. So make sure you follow along here on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe because I'm going to keep unpacking where Texas power actually lives.